There's a quiet conflict happening on the inside of a lot of people right now. One part of you wants to grow, to achieve, to build something meaningful with your life, but the other part is tired. Not lazy, not unmotivated, just tired. Tired from everything you've carried, tired from everything you've survived. And the real question becomes, how do you build a powerful future when parts of you are still healing from the past? Because modern culture gives us two extreme answers. One side says, hustle harder, push through the pain, success requires sacrifice. And the other side, rest, heal, protect your energy. Don't push yourself too much. But what if the real wisdom is learning to hold both? Today I want to talk about something most people never explain well: the delicate balance between hustle and healing. Welcome to the Infinite Carousel. My name is Promise, and here we talk about real growth, the messy, the beautiful, the imperfect kind. For the last decade, the internet has glorified one idea above all else: relentless productivity. Wake up at 5 a.m., work harder than everyone else, sleep when you're successful. We've been told that if we grind hard enough, eventually we'll arrive at the life we want. And there is some truth to this. Effort matters, discipline matters, consistency matters. But here's what the hustle culture rarely acknowledges: people aren't machines. We don't just operate on ambition, we operate on emotional history. Every person walking through life is carrying invisible experiences: childhood wounds, betrayals, losses, disappointments, years of self-doubt. And when those things are ignored, something interesting happens. You can still achieve success, but internally, you're still operating from unhealed survival patterns. This is why some of the most successful people feel exhausted, anxious, or empty. Because achievement can build your life, but healing rebuilds your nervous system. And if you don't do both, eventually the imbalance will show up. For many people, hustle isn't just ambition, it's protection. Overworking can become a way to avoid pain. If you stay busy enough, you don't have to feel. If you keep producing, you don't have to confront your insecurities. If you keep chasing the next goal, you don't have to slow down and ask the harder questions. Questions like, why do I feel like I'm never enough? Why do I feel guilty when I rest? Why do I feel anxious when things are calm? A lot of high achievers grew up in environments where love, safety, and validation felt conditional. So they learned. They learned something very early. Worth had to be earned through performance, through achievement, and through proving themselves to others. So they became extremely capable, but internally, the pressure never stopped. But if your identity becomes tied to productivity, then resting feels dangerous. And healing requires something that hustle often avoids: stillness. And stillness can feel uncomfortable if you spent your whole life outrunning your emotions. The other extreme. On the other side, something else has been happening. In reaction to the burnout culture, many people have swung to the opposite extreme. Now the message is, don't push yourself, protect your peace, take as much time as you need to heal. And again, there's truth here. Healing is essential, but healing can also become a place people stay too long. At some point, reflection has to turn into movement. You can journal for years about your fears. You can analyze every childhood experience. You can process every emotional pattern. But eventually, growth asks something uncomfortable. You still have to step forward. You still have to take risks. You still have to try. You still have to build. Because healing is not meant to become a waiting room where your life pauses indefinitely. It's meant to become a foundation for action. Now let's talk about real growth. The most powerful transformation happens when hustle and healing work together. Healing gives you awareness, hustle gives you momentum. Healing helps you understand your patterns. Hustle helps you rewrite them. Healing will ask you, what hurts you? Hustle asks, what will you build anyway? When these two forces combine, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing success out of fear and you start building a life from alignment. You work hard, but not because you hate yourself. You rest, but not because you are avoiding growth. Instead, you move with intention. Some seasons will require effort and expansion. Other seasons will require reflection and repair. Both are necessary. Both are part of becoming the person you are meant to be. Signs you might be out of balance. If you're wondering where you currently fall, here are a few signals. If you lean too heavily into hustle, you might notice constant exhaustion, feeling guilty when you rest, achievement that doesn't actually feel fulfilling. If you lean too far into healing without action, you might notice feeling stuck in analysis, endlessly preparing but never starting, waiting to feel fully ready. The truth is, no one ever feels fully ready. No one. Growth always involves some discomfort, but the goal isn't to eliminate the discomfort. The goal is to move forward without abandoning yourself. Life isn't meant to be a constant grind, but it also isn't meant to be a permanent recovery process. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to take care of the parts of yourself that were once neglected. You are also allowed to dream boldly and build courageously. Your past deserves compassion. Your future deserves effort. And the real art of living is learning how to honor both. Because the strongest version of you isn't the one who only hustles. And it isn't the one who only heals. It's the one who understands when to do each. Growth is rarely linear. Sometimes you're building, sometimes you're rebuilding. But both are part of the same journey. And maybe that's the infinite carousel of becoming.